And welcome to the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. Both sidelines covered today. Michelle Tafoya down there along with Catherine Tappan. Start with you, Catherine.
Well, Al, Cam Akers was expected to be the Rams' lead running back this season until he ruptured his right Achilles tendon while working out last July. Akers told me they said it was a 6 to 8 month recovery, but I always knew I was looking more towards saving my season. Matthew Stafford told us the first time he heard Cam say that, he laughed. But yet Akers did make it back for Week 18, and in Monday night's wild card win, Sean McVay told us you could feel him. He brought a spark back to this team. Now, just over 6 months since suffering that devastating injury, the second-year pro has come full circle, and he is expected to take the bulk of the carries here this afternoon. Michelle?
Well, Catherine, the Buccaneers' offensive line will not be at full strength today. All-pro starting right tackle Tristan Wirfs, who injured his right ankle in last week's wild-card game, is out. Replacing him will be Josh Wells, who was limited in practice all week because of a quad injury. The Bucs will get back running back Leonard Fournette, who missed the last 4 games with a hamstring injury. Fournette told me he has felt physically great all week and expects to run early and often in this game. Tom Brady told me Fournette is dependable in the run game, pass game, as well as with blitz pickups, and has played great in big games. Brady telling me Lenny loves these big moments, and we're expecting him to come through. Al?
A lot of big moments coming your way today. They talk about, it's the old cliche, perfect day for football. This is a perfect day for football. Clear skies, 55 degrees. Interesting, right off the top here, Matt Gay will kick off. He had a little bit of an issue about an hour and a half ago when he was warming up out on the field. And since the Rams won the toss and have deferred, we're going to see him right off the bat. Darden is back to receive. He's averaged 20 yards per run back this season. Winner moves on to face the 49ers. This divisional playoff game being brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Michelob Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. And by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Go back to '79. The Bucs were in their 4th year of existence. Rams beat them 9-0 in the NFC Championship game. Advanced to the Super Bowl where they lost to Pittsburgh. And that game was in their home area, even though they were playing at the Coliseum. That game was played at the Rose Bowl. So the Rams, in a way, trying to duplicate that feat to a degree. Win here, win next week at home, and then host the game on the 13th of February. All this week, Halle Berry will be there. Imagine Dragons as well. Tomorrow night, Tiffany Haddish on The Tonight Show. All this week on NBC. Perfect day in Tampa, Florida. So the Rams defense, Aaron Donald, of course, a lot of people think he is the best player, period. Position notwithstanding. First team All-Pro each of the last 7 seasons. Jim Parker going all the way back, the Colts tackle back in the late 50s and mid 60s. Bill George was the Bears linebacker, the last 2 guys who can say that. So 3 weeks from today, February 13th, Super Bowl in LA, Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show featuring Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar. Tony Romo have that for you on CBS at 6:30 Eastern. And then you've got next week, CBS has the AFC. Brady in the postseason, 47 starts, 35 wins, 85 TD passes, the most by a ton in every category. You think about it, 47 games is the equivalent of about 3 full regular seasons.
It's insane. I mean, it's just insane.
Florida's Gulf Coast, Tampa, Florida on this Sunday, and the aerial coverage today is being brought to you by Geico.
Gasparillo going on. A lot of Pirates running around Tampa.
15-yard difference from where it would have been spotted. Bucs defense, the expected starters on opening day. This is the first time that they've all played together. They've been mixing and matching and having injuries left and right, the whole thing. First time all season, pretty opportune time, that the whole defense that was expected to start opening day plays together. Rogers, Fournette. You know, you'll talk about Stafford on that last play. We're in the yeah but time of year, right? It's the yeah, it's the playoffs, and everybody can have a great career, but it's always yeah but. That's Matthew Stafford, but so far so good for him today.
So far so good, and he picked the right opponent so far. This has been the team that he's played some of his absolute best football against, and for a Buccaneers defense that very rarely makes mistakes, they have made a lot against the Rams.
Field, 13-18 to go in the half. And look at the beach in St. Petersburg, across the bay. So, a lot of interesting stuff. We'll get into it a little bit later, too. There's some buzz out there about whether Tom Brady may be done. Now, meanwhile, he played great this year, as well as he's ever played. He's 44 years old, but there's a little bit of noise out there, and a little bit later on, we're going to show you what we talked to Tom about. We have a panel we'll put up, and what he said the other day I thought was a little interesting and a little mysterious.
A little bit of noise about the guys that are likely to finish first and second in the MVP balloting. How weird is that?
Of course, Aaron Rodgers on the other side. With Aaron down the line. What about Tom? Lead. This divisional playoff being brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Chipotle for real. And by Geico. Save even more when you handle or bundle home and car insurance. As we look back to the magical season, Kurt Warner, NFC Championship game. The Rams beat the Bucs 11-6 and went on to beat Tennessee. Stan Kroenke owned the team at that point with Georgia Fronteri. He was the minority owner, now the majority owner. Built SoFi Stadium, and he hopes to make sure that he throws a nice party for everybody who comes to LA in 3 weeks, and his own team. Kevin Demoff as well, the COO of the team, looking on. Got to be pretty happy at this point. Rams looking good, up by 17. And you're watching the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax live.
Coach and Chris, and what have you seen so far from the Bucs?
No protection for Tom Brady. McVay and Stafford are hot.
Okay, we continue to break down this game at halftime. Al, back to you.
All right, thank you, Maria. Look forward to the halftime report right now. And off they go to the locker room. First half, all Rams. Winner to take on San Francisco next week in the NFC Championship game. It's 20-3 with the Rams to get the second half kickoff. Coming up, Toyota halftime. Maria Tony and Chris Sims to tell you what's going on. Gang, yours.
Thanks, Al. Coach, what a big change of events. They're knocking on the doorstep of a touchdown, and it ends up being a fumble by Cam Akers.
Antoine Winfield Jr. competing until the whistle. Great play. It gave them an opportunity to get back in the game.
Opportunity. They controlled the first half, though, so they shouldn't go into halftime feeling too down about the way the game shaped up. The Rams, yeah.
Yes.
They have played really good football, and we know the Bucs have had issues. Brady not looking like normal Brady.
Yes, and the Rams get the ball to start the second half, but coming up, we're going to break down what's gone right for the Rams and what's gone wrong for Brady and the Bucs, and whether or not they can fix it in the second half.
Want more stats? Hey Siri, who leads the league in receiving touchdowns? Brought to you by Chevrolet.
Ready to go? Come on. How much you willing to give? Let's do it.
Off we go from Tampa. A roll, a throw, and a touchdown. Kendall Blanton. Stafford going for it all. He's got a wide open man. It's Kupp who gets free and all the way to the end zone.
Tom Brady might be bleeding a little bit.
Under pressure again. Fires downfield. Going to be picked off. Nick Scott.
I'm making
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
17-point Rams lead. 20-3 at the half. Matthew Stafford now postseason. 431 yards, 4 TDs, no picks, including last week's game against Arizona. For Brady, pressured 10 times in the half, 19 times in week 3 against the Rams. When the Rams won the game in LA by 10, Cooper Kupp, that's the longest postseason TD for the Rams since Isaac Bruce, which turned out to be the game winner at the Super Bowl following the '99 season on a pass from Warner. And Tampa Bay now 30 or more points in 5 straight postseason games, held to a field goal today. And a little bit fortunate, it's only 20-3 because of the Rams' fumble at the 1-yard line. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya, Catherine Tappan with you. 5, and we get it to Michelle.
Well, Al, Bruce Arians was fairly calm coming out of the locker room, telling me we had poor execution in all 3 phases. We've got to block better for Tom. The receivers have to do their part by getting open, and we've got 30 minutes to get it all fixed. Now to Catherine.
Well, Michelle, Sean McVay told his team, let's finish what we started. Brush aside that turnover that ended the first half. Take care of the football, and defensively keep applying pressure. Make them commit the errors, Al.
Tom Brady the other day, and we said, do you ever think about a perfect ending? And he said, winning the Super Bowl, but I don't know that that's this year. I'd love to end on a Super Bowl. He paused and then said, but I think I'll know when I know. But there's a lot that's inconclusive. Now, there are some switchbacks in that answer. Wouldn't you say? But he hasn't said he's going to come back next year. He hasn't said he hasn't coming back. But you tell me what you think after you see that. And there's a lot of buzz out there right now that this could be it. Fournette right there. Of course, Tom has the family. They love it down here. You know, he led the league in touchdown passes, in yardage. He set an NFL record for completions. I mean, he's playing as well as he has in ever. And yet, who knows? You tell me.
Well, and I think part of it is going to be what kind of team can we put together, and let's look at it. Same sort of thing that I think Aaron Rodgers is saying.
Well, my gut is I think that Giselle is going to have something to say about this.
You think?
And there she is. His kids have now gotten to the point where they know who Dad is. They've been able to see him. I mean, he's got a million things he can do in life, in the afterlife. But do you walk away? Do you walk away kind of at the top? I mean, he wins a Super Bowl last year. Sets all kinds of. He sets a record every time he throws the ball. On NBC, American Auto and Grand Crew. Don't miss the new Tuesday comedies on NBC. You were a Single Skulls guy, weren't you? This divisional playoff game being brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. By Intuit TurboTax Live, you do your thing. We've got your taxes. By Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. By Hyundai. Back to last year, that's the way it ended here. 31-9, Bucks win. Knock off the Chiefs, win their 2nd ever Super Bowl. Most games with a TD pass in one season, counting postseason. Take a look at this lineup. You had Dan Marino back in '84, Kurt Warner in '99, Warner again with the Cardinals in '08. Peyton Manning did it with Denver. Matt Ryan did it with Atlanta in '16. Brady did it last year, and Matthew Stafford this season has a chance to break a tie with all those guys. Of course, he had the elongated season. It's the 2022 Pro Bowl presented by Verizon. Sunday, February the 6th, 3 Eastern time from Las Vegas. Catch it on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes. So all of a sudden, it's 27-13. This is one of those don't touch your dial games. So consecutive games with a TD. Take a look at that list. Thurman Thomas, 9 straight. Emmitt Smith, 8 straight. Fournette just went in to make it 7 to join Terrell Davis, Marcus Allen, John Riggins. Nice company. 14. Rams on top by 14. You're watching the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. Repeat Super Bowl champions, back-to-back. Super Bowls 1 and 2. The Packers did it with Lombardi. The Dolphins had a perfect season there when they did it. Steelers did it twice in the 70s. 49ers did it 88-89. Cowboys with Aikman and Jimmy Johnson and Emmitt Smith. 92-93. Broncos, Elway, Shanahan. Patriots 03-04. Belichick and Brady a long time ago. 17 years. Brady trying to do it again. 2-score game. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya, Catherine Tappan. Start the 4th. 2nd down and 10 for LA. The Winter Olympics coming up in a couple of weeks, February the 3rd, from Beijing on NBC and on Peacock. just 11 days away. To be recognized, tune into NFL Honors Thursday, Feb 10, 9 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus, NFL Network. Let's look at the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. The old Ringo Starr song, it don't come easy, right?
Nothing.
The Rams looked like they were going to rout them. Here comes Tampa Bay. They've had every opportunity, and the Rams are equal to the task, at least in the last series.
Well, you go back to right before the half, the Cam Akers fumble, really, or that would have been a blowout at halftime. And then Cooper Kupp with one coming back the other way, and then it was just a series of mistakes. And yet for the Rams, they felt the pressure in this one, and yet they somehow hung in on the defensive side as much as anything else. This defense is very, very dangerous going forward.
Yeah, the offense carried them early in the game. Defense here. So 3 weeks from today, Los Angeles, Super Bowl 56 on NBC and Peacock. Coverage will start. All the pregame activities and festivities at noon Eastern time. And the game at about 6:30. And the Rams, by the hair of their skinny teeth,
Al,
wind up winning it.
3 games so far, a walk-off field goal.
Yes.
All 3.
Yes. Cooper Kupp, 2 gigantic plays. 4 turnovers by the Rams, and Stafford almost gave it away on this drive. Kupp 186 receiving yards. Stafford threw for 369. And off they go to home where they meet the 49ers next Sunday.
I tell you, it reminds me so much of Tom Brady's first Super Bowl. You know, he got the ball back. All the momentum had shifted the other way. People thought they should have taken a knee. In the same way here, though, Sean McVay found the drive starter, got it going, hit the shot down the field. What an unbelievable moment for these Rams, who tried so hard to give this one away.
The highlights, the tons of highlights. Stafford to Kupp. Looks downfield. Kupp beats his man. Off he goes. Enough time to get down there. Spike it. Gay, the one-time buck, drafted by them in 19, lost his job to Ryan Suckup. Comes back, wins it. Aaron Donald on to the NFC Championship game at home next week. And for Sean McVay, another winning season. That's 5 in a row. Another trip to the playoffs against the 49ers, who've been their kryptonite in recent years. But to be determined for Bruce Arians. That's the way it ends after a sensational comeback. Dramatic. Storybook. Coming up next, divisional playoff postgame show after these messages from your NBC station.
You've been watching the divisional play.